That is done by a floor motion. I'm going to pass out Mr. Jaros that gave me a handout prior to the meeting. And this is from the charter, sir?
Sure is.
Pass this around the council. And let me borrow that so the law director can have one. He's highlighted here. All legislative action by council shall be an ordinance or resolution, except when otherwise required by the Constitution or laws of the state of Ohio, and shall be introduced in written or printed form. Mr. Jaros has an objection to this being done as a floor motion due to the interpretation of this charter. So I'm going to hand it over to our representative from the law department.
We've always done it as a floor motion. Always. We don't write legislation for variances or approvals or recommendations of Board of Zoning Appeals. It's not a legislative action. Thank you. So your floor motion will be fine, Tom.
It's an action from council, which is the legislative body. So how does it not apply? I don't understand.
No, I'm not going to explain.
All right. You have another submission related to this, Mr. Jaros? I'll pass this out. Can you explain what it is?
That shows two city properties. And there's X's and boxes of the two parcels, the individual parcels.
Jackass. Yes.
I don't understand the whole process here with the dedication plat at this point in time. You research dedication plat and you'll find that some private entity is dedicating property to a public use. With what's happening here is you're taking public property and dedicating it to a private use. This serves Glenn's Landing, Landsong, or whichever entity. So it's backwards to begin with. This is something that normally happens at the tail end of a development. The other thing that's happening, I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but it's common knowledge that there are waters of the United States on the city's parcels. That's a fact. I don't know if any of you have physically been on the property. I have. There's streams there. There's a square box on that same piece of paper you got. I asked Mr. Levis what that indicated in engineering terms. He wasn't sure. But I've physically seen an outfall coming off the city's parcels in that general area, which means there's some kind of drainage in there. There probably should be some kind of easement indicated, and your permission for a roadway ignores all those facts. It ignores the waters of the United States. It ignores the existence of existing infrastructure. About a month ago, Mayor Delacroix said Glenn's Landing asked for a 90-day extension on a contract. I've asked for a copy of the contract. I haven't gotten that. That should be a public record. Is there, in fact, has council seen a contract for the sale of the city parcels? Have you seen any letters of intent? Yes, no?
I have seen the contract.
You have?
Yes,
You've
I
seen
have.
letters of intent too for the property?
I have a number of letters from Glenn's Landing, and I've seen their original contract.
Okay. Well, I saw a very early letter of intent, and some of the things stated on that letter of intent might be seen by someone as trying to circumvent the Army Corps of Engineers and its specifications. Now you're telling, with that plat, you're telling these guys it's okay to put a road over waters of the United States without identifying the waters of the United States that you know are on there. They are on that parcel, there's no two ways about it. So you're not making a call out for that, you're making a call out for an easement to connect to some point on LSB property. A call out you feel is necessary there, but you don't feel a call out's necessary to consider the Army Corps of Engineers, who controls those waters of the United States. I think you might be getting yourself in a position that you might not want to be in. If the sale is going to go through, and I asked the mayor this a while back, has any money actually been exchanged? Has any money changed hands on the sale of the city parcels? Mayor?
I'd defer to others on that question. I don't know if it's come through me.
Not that I see.
Sonia? So, money was to be exchanged. In the letter of intent I saw anyhow, it mentioned money being exchanged in furtherance of the contractual agreement to purchase the property.
So it would show up in the financials, so you'd have to go basically to the detail of the financials. So it's not pinging anything off the top
But
of
you
my
haven't
head.
seen any.
Not off the top of my head.
So the terms of the contract really haven't been executed. And we have another 60 days to the 90-day extension that the mayor alluded to. So you basically have nothing. Nothing's been done to execute the contract. And now you're gonna dedicate a piece of the property to the personal use of Lansong without any guarantee that they'll even buy the rest of the property. So you're just giving away public property to a private use. I don't even know if that's legal.
Well, it's both the zoning board.
Go ask our law
planning
department.
commission. I'm
You
just
won't
saying,
get an
We had
answer.
legal, the city had legal representation of both the planning commission and the zoning board of appeals. We had legal representation there. Our engineer was there at both meetings. Dan Collins had a whole list of things that he was concerned about. And the one that needed to be resolved was this right of way. And after the right of way was agreed upon, our engineer, he's not here today, he is on vacation, it's the day after Christmas, did not share any further concerns with me.
Well, the planning commission didn't have a concern, but it came to you, it came to council
Yeah.
the first time in violation of the PUD because of the 50 instead of 60-foot right-of-way.
That is correct, sir.
So planning didn't catch that,
Yes, sir.
the engineer didn't catch it to the last minute, and the law department was there and it didn't catch it. But it came to council, ready to go to a floor motion, which is questionable in its use because just because we did it before makes it right now, just doesn't work for me. So this whole thing seems to be really muddled, and if you guys really, you guys need to break some ground here and maybe look at this development area as a fresh slate, even though it certainly isn't. It's a fresh slate for you. And maybe you guys need to really understand what's going on and all the ramifications before you go ahead and commit to something like you're doing here. I mean, table the thing, get a chance to find out what's really going on before you go ahead and possibly make a terrible mistake. The letter of intent I saw, they were gonna patch on a piece of their property to the city property, and if you guys are buying into this and this is in a contract, the Army Corps is gonna slap your teeth out. It's not gonna happen.
So would it be a true statement that they couldn't begin on the road, building the road until they have all their permits? Building commissioner, any? If there's a wetland issue that hasn't been remediated, we wouldn't issue a permit. Is that an accurate statement?
That's an accurate statement.
Well, why
Can't do anything.
isn't that a condition of the
Can't do
dedication?
anything without.
You shouldn't be doing that. Is a wetland permit in process anywhere? As the letter of intent said the city was gonna get it.
Look, the Army Corps has issued us a permit to put the road where it's located. Gave us a nationwide permit to do so.
The Army Corps has issued a nationwide permit for the parcels that belong to the
Yes.
city of Seven Hills.
Yes.
At whose request? The city of Seven Hills requested that?
I'm telling you, we got a permit.
The developer.
Pardon?
The developer.
Developer doesn't own the property. How can a developer request a permit for property it doesn't own yet? Mr. Mason?
I think you addressed your, we have a permit.
Well, you're answering.
We have a permit. Then what else do you wanna know about it? We have a permit.
Yes, there.
But you don't have the property.
I mean, I know,
Well-
know if you have time limits. I know you're a new council president. I mean,
All right, well,
this
here's
doesn't
what-
seem the form to be debating it, but that's my opinion.
Well, we don't want to date it, but what we want, we have been, came to tonight with the intent of having two floor motions. One for the zoning, one for the planning commission. That'll establish this road, okay? And that's a event. Another event is the closing on the sale of the city property to the developer for 1.1 million. And it appears to me that our two motions tonight are part and parcel needed to move the sale along, sale of the land along, and get the development moving. But do we have a legal question here raised by Mr. Jaros? One, talking about the wetlands that we know were there when we sold it, and two, how the permit was issued. The
No.
developer's here tonight, and he has the
He has the permit. I mean, we've gone around this a million times.
For a
That's
year.
the thing. For a
A whole
year,
year
we
now.
might as well just not develop that land.
all right.
We might as well just keep it the way it is. My office has been there for 22 years. I'm looking at vacant land because all we do is delay. We delay kicking them off the planning commission. We've gone around this a million times, and now here we are back again. Let's not
Alright.
approve them, and then they'll walk away, and we could have empty land and deer, and then you could set up your bow hunting stands there.
All right, enough. Rest of council. Questions,